I entered into a marriage of convenience with the city's most eligible bachelor, Harrison Sterling. He doesn't like me. He hates my touch. He even keeps a stoic face whenever I'm in the room. Don't even get me started on the lack of marital activities. My parents, desperate for a grandchild, kept dropping hints and even forced me to serve Harrison some sort of fertility tonic. Harrison just shoved the bowl aside. I was completely out of options. Suddenly, a stream of floating comments, like a live stream chat, scrolled across my vision. Sobbing, "Baby girl, stop feeding him that soup. One more sip and he's gonna snap. Can't you see the golden boy's eyes are red? He looks like he's about to devour you in the next second." Our heroine has no idea that this guy has been crushing on her for over a decade. Word on the street was that Harrison Sterling, the scion of the elite circle, had become a completely different person after getting married. I can't drink, guys. I'm a married man now. Marriage changes things. I'm not like you single bachelors anymore. Can't help it, the wifey wants me home by 8 sharp. If I'm late, she throws a fit. My best friend, Jess, mimicked Harrison's tone over the phone. She burst out laughing before she even finished the sentence. "Annie, seriously, when your brother told me, I didn't believe him. Annie, you got him on a tight leash. Nice work. How'd you train him? Teach me your ways." I lay on my bed, feeling a wave of disappointment. But, I never asked him to be home by 8. Do you think he's seeing another woman? Harrison didn't like me. In fact, he practically loathed me. Jess tried to comfort me. "Annie, you're overthinking it. His commute is 15 minutes tops. He doesn't have time to do anything shady. Listen to me. Just relax. Name one other guy in our circle who blows off every networking dinner and drinking party just to be home by 8, rain or shine, to be with you? Was that really true?" My ears picked up the sound of the front door opening. I bolted upright in bed and smoothed out my clothes. "Jess, gotta go. I think he's back. Hubby's home, huh? Ha ha ha, told you so." Laughter trailed off from the other end of the line. I threw on a robe and ran out. Harrison was in the entryway changing his shoes. I ran up to him excitedly, tilting my head with a smile. "You're back." Harrison gave a cold response. I reached out to take his coat. He dodged my hand and hung the coat on the rack himself. "I've got it." Watching his hand pull away, my chest felt tight. "Okay. What do you want for dinner?" "I'll tell the housekeeper." "Whatever's fine." I actually liked Harrison. It was love at first sight, he was undeniably handsome. Harrison finished changing his shoes and walked inside. I trailed behind him like a loyal puppy. Suddenly, he stopped. I walked right into his back. I caught the scent of his cologne, a cool pine mixed with a subtle floral note. I'd never met anyone who could pull off that combination so perfectly. I couldn't help but sniff the air. Harrison frowned, looking displeased. "Don't stand so close to me." I froze. I watched helplessly as Harrison walked into his study. Since the wedding, we hadn't had any intimate contact. Harrison was constantly avoiding me. He even slept in the guest bedroom. Looking at his cold, retreating back, my nose stung, and a wave of grievance washed over me. If he hates me this much, why come home so early? If he doesn't like me, why did he agree to this arranged marriage? I skipped dinner and lay in the bedroom, secretly wiping away tears. "Jess, sob, I'm so sad. Harrison is being awful to me. How can he be like this? Outside, he pretends to be this perfect, devoted husband, but at home, he's so cold. I mean, I graduated from an Ivy League school, my family has pampered me my whole life, I'm pretty, and I'm in great shape. Why doesn't he like me?" Jess was furious. "Is Harrison really treating you like that? That two-faced hypocrite." "It's okay, Annie. If he doesn't like you, forget him. You still have me." I love you more than anyone in the world. Jess and I grew up together. As kids, we used to joke that we'd marry each other. Our families even suspected we might be lesbians. But after they discovered Jess was simultaneously dating several boyfriends, actually, that suspicion vanished. We were still incredibly close. Close enough to share every detail of our lives without embarrassment. Close enough that no matter if I got married or if she swapped boyfriends, no one would ever rank higher than me in her heart. I blew a kiss at the phone. Jess, I love you the most, too. Knock, knock. I turned around to find Harrison standing in the doorway. The dignified heir to the Sterling Empire wouldn't stoop to eavesdropping, right? That would be tacky. I looked at him. What's up? Just came to get something. Harrison's gaze swept quickly across the room. When his eyes landed on me, the tips of his ears turned red, and he quickly looked away. I followed his gaze and looked down at myself. Crap. I was sprawling on the bed with zero grace, my silk nightgown wrinkled and riding up, barely covering anything. Even though we were married, I felt a sudden flash of embarrassment. Harrison walked to the dresser, grabbed a random item, and fled the scene. Mortified, I buried my face in the duvet. It was hot out, so I usually slept in pretty skimpy clothes. I never expected Harrison to walk in at a time like this. Does he hate me even more now? Jess had to console me for nearly an hour. It took her promising to gift me the latest limited edition collectible figure, in the color I missed out on, for me to cheer up. Exactly. Our bond was ironclad. We were sisters for life. Suddenly, another stream of comments floated across the air. Sobbing, baby, stop rewarding him. Careful, or he's really going to bully you. Like, really bully you. Didn't you see the male lead's ears were red? If he hadn't run, he would have exposed himself. Ugh, I really want to see the male lead lose control and show his true colors. Hee 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 hee. Hey, comment above, stop laughing. Your creepy laugh is hurting my eyes. I stared curiously at these words appearing out of thin air. The further I read, the more explicit it got. In broad daylight, this was wilder than the encrypted files Jess used to send me. My face turned red, then pale. A few minutes later, Harrison called out from the hallway. Annie, come out for a late-night snack. Confused, I put on proper clothes and walked out. Yes. I changed into a different set of pajamas. I didn't want to see that look in Harrison's eyes again. I saw the housekeeper, Mrs. Zheng, happily bringing a bowl of noodles out of the kitchen. Mr. Sterling noticed you didn't eat dinner. He thought the heat might have killed your appetite, so he asked me to make a bowl of crab roe noodles. See if it suits your taste. If you don't like it, I can make something else. How did Harrison know I liked crab roe noodles? Thanks, Mrs. Zheng. I love it. The floating comments drifted by. Oh, Harrison. You were worried sick when you didn't see your wife at dinner, weren't you? Without his wife there, the food didn't even taste good. Gosh, look at him. He looks up at her, then immediately looks down. More sensitive than a mimosa plant. Hee hee, speaking of sensitive. I suddenly glanced over at Harrison on the sofa. Our eyes met. I caught a look of pure obsession he didn't have time to hide. Harrison dodged my gaze, feigning calm as he looked back down at his phone. Comment stream, ha 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 ha, caught staring at his wife eating. Our Annie is cute even when she eats. Let's form a team to steal her. I'm hopeless. I love seeing a devoted, obsessed husband. I hereby name him the world's greatest ninja. With such a beautiful wife right there, he only dares to peek. Reading this, I choked on a noodle. I'll accept the beautiful part. But what is going on with Harrison? Doesn't he hate me? Before, when I hand-painted a picture for him, he didn't even glance at it. He never touched the pastries I made. I've never even been in his bedroom. He doesn't allow it. We've been sleeping separately since the wedding. The next morning, I woke up to a call from Harrison. He had left an important document at home. Could you bring it to the office for me? If you don't have time, I'll send my assistant. I can do it. I'm free today. Thanks for the trouble. No problem. We were married, yet Harrison was so polite. His cold, distant tone made me feel like we weren't husband and wife. More like boss and employee. As soon as I walked into Harrison's company, curious gazes landed on me. His assistant was waiting at the entrance. Hi, this is the file Harrison asked for. I planned to drop it off and leave. But the assistant didn't take the file. Instead, he asked me to take it to Harrison's office personally. This document is quite sensitive. I don't have the clearance to handle it. All right then. I stood next to Harrison's assistant, waiting for the elevator. Because of how respectful he was being, the employees quickly guessed my identity. Finally saw Mr. Sterling's beautiful wife. She's gorgeous. Sob, the CEO's wife is so soft and sweet. Before I saw him, I thought the boss was being dramatic, hiding her away like that. After seeing her, I only hate that I'm not Mr. Sterling. I'd be even worse. If I had a wife that pretty, I'd never leave the house. The boss's 8 p.m. rule is too conservative. I greeted them with a friendly smile. Amidst a ripple of suppressed squeals, I walked into the elevator. From their whispers, I accurately captured a piece of information. Rumor had it Harrison had a one that got away, a first love who went abroad, forcing them to separate. Could someone as cold as Harrison actually like someone? My marriage to Harrison was largely due to our parents' orders. Now that the company was firmly in his hands, would he abandon me completely to marry his first love? What if she came back? Would Harrison divorce me immediately? Harrison's office was on the 35th floor. He was still in a meeting when I arrived. The assistant dropped me off and left. Wandering around Harrison's office alone, I suddenly spotted the painting I had made for him, sunflowers. I thought he had thrown it away. I didn't expect him to hang it in his office, in the most prominent spot, too. It was the only thing on the entire white wall. He would see it every time he looked up from his desk. There was also a photo of us on his desk. I looked about a teenager in the photo, and Harrison looked very young too. We were both smiling awkwardly at the camera. I didn't remember ever taking this photo with Harrison. The comments floated by. Photoshopped, ha ha ha. Harrison secretly hired someone to Photoshop it. He can't put it downstairs at it 100 times a day. Sigh, Harrison hides it too deep. Crushing on her for 10 years but didn't dare confess. Now he's legally married but still doesn't dare to hold his wife's hand T to the power of T. Sob, when will baby realize that he's loved you for 10 years? Now I knew. Not all love is loud and bright, some love is hidden deep in the heart, making people timid and afraid to move forward. A few minutes later, Harrison rushed back in a hurry. Perhaps because he ran, his breathing was a bit unsteady. Annie, you didn't wait long, did you? Sorry to make you come all the way here. The assistant shouted from behind him, Hey, Mr. Sterling, the meeting isn't over yet. Harrison said in a low voice, That's enough for today. He turned and closed the office door, leaving just the two of us and that important document. I couldn't help but ask, Harrison, what's with the painting? Harrison looked at the painting uncomfortably. Nothing. I liked it, so I hung it there. I pressed on, and the photo? The photo, old Lou and the guys messed around with it. Don't mind it. If you don't like it, I'll throw it away in a bit. Poor old Lou. He's been Harrison's friend the longest. Now he's the scapegoat. Watching him lie with a straight face, I couldn't help but laugh. Can you send me a copy? I want one too. Harrison's eyes instantly lit up. He actually wanted to take a real photo together even more. Suddenly, I felt a cramp in my lower abdomen. My relative was extremely punctual. Every time, it arrived exactly 3 or 4 minutes after the pain started. Usually, it was manageable, but this time was incredibly awkward. Maybe because I had just eaten something cold, the pain was fierce. Crucially, I didn't have a pad with me. My period started, I said, a bit embarrassed. Do you have a pad or anything? My stomach was really hurting, so I couldn't afford to be coy. Still, it was awkward. Harrison immediately said, I'll go find one now. Use my coat to cover up. He handed me his trench coat, which was filled with his scent. I don't know if it was my imagination, but smelling that scent actually made my stomach feel a bit better. Harrison came back 10 minutes later. Because of the pain, sweat was beading on my forehead. But Harrison looked even more disheveled than I did. There was a thin layer of sweat on his palms and forehead. From start to finish, Harrison's ears were bright red. Just like the comments said, he was exercising extreme restraint. After I got cleaned up, Harrison had his driver take me home. Before leaving, I quickly kissed him on the cheek. Before he could react, I swiftly walked to the office door. Thanks, hubby. I'm leaving now. Remember to be home by 8 today. I'll be waiting for you. Okay. Harrison's eyes were filled with irrepressible joy, and the corners of his mouth were turning up wildly. The comments were jumping frantically. Who gets it? Harrison is completely drowning in those hubbies. Sob, who doesn't want to be called hubby by a sweet little baby? Baby. Wifey. I'm right here. Your interdimensional husband. I never leave the house anyway. That hubby hit him so hard, Harrison is ready to work like a mule for the production team. I have a bold idea. I also have a bold idea. You say it first. No. You say it first. Harrison used to be a workaholic. Lately, the thing he looked forward to most was coming home. Even if he had social obligations, he stuck to the 8 p.m. rule. Annie, I'm home. Harrison hugged me as soon as he saw me. He smelled of alcohol, but he was still sober. I helped him to the guest bedroom to sleep. Even though I knew Harrison liked me, before we formally addressed it, I still had reservations. What if the floating comments were lying? Pushing open the guest bedroom door, I immediately spotted the nightgown on the bed. The nightgown I had asked the housekeeper to wash. Next to it was a familiar teddy bear pillow. For the month we'd been married, Harrison had acted like he was keeping me at arm's length. I thought he didn't like me at all. I never expected him to be secretly hiding my clothes in here. I immediately turned around, pretending I hadn't seen anything. Harrison's face, however, turned completely red, from his neck to the back of his ears. He walked up to me proactively. Wifey, Annie, I'm sorry. I confess. It was too hard to bear. I couldn't help it, but I was afraid of scaring you, so I secretly took a piece of clothing you didn't want. Comments. That clothes might not be clean anymore. Only Harrison knows what he did to it. In the dark, lonely night, curling up under the covers, hugging clothes covered in his wife's scent. The comments made my face flush yellow. But knowing Harrison liked me too, I couldn't wait a second longer. I looked at him intensely. Harrison, I want the truth. Do you like me? The first love was in the past. I didn't care. As long as he liked me now. I like you. Harrison answered without a moment's hesitation. Then he shook his head. No, it's love. Annie, I love you. The Annie, I love you was said with such conviction, it was deafening to the heart. After saying it, Harrison peeked carefully at my expression. I hadn't noticed before, but his eyes were always full of obsession and love when he looked at me. I looked straight into his eyes, absorbing all the love radiating from him. Why didn't you tell me? Is it a little late to say it now? Harrison took my hand. I didn't expect that beneath his gentlemanly exterior, he was such a pervert. Secretly sniffing my clothes. But I liked it. Then why were you so cold to me before? You clearly liked me, yet you pushed me away time and again. If not for the live stream comments, I never would have discovered his feelings. I would have thought he hated me. Harrison was about to speak when Jess called. I had to answer, leaving Harrison hanging on the side. Jess? What's wrong? Jess's tearful voice came through. Sob, Annie, your brother isn't human. It's 9:30 p.m. and he's still not home. I don't know which club he's partying at. He won't reply to texts or calls. He's hiding from me on purpose. I immediately comforted her, don't panic yet. I'll text him and ask. The relationship between Jess and my big brother, Ethan, was complicated. Jess was a notorious player. But after a drunken night, she ended up with my brother. Ethan had absolutely no complaints. Jess, however, was being incredibly dramatic, hoping Ethan would give up on her. Who knew, before Ethan gave up, Jess fell for him first. She started getting terrified that Ethan would be seduced by other women, especially since Ethan used to be quite a player himself. I had advised her many times on this, to no avail. I helplessly took out my phone to text Ethan. Big bro, where are you? Jess says she can't reach you, she's calling me now. Ethan replied quickly. Been squatting on the toilet for 2 hours. It was best if I didn't interfere too much in their affairs. I just hoped all lovers would find their way to each other. As soon as I put down the phone, a pitiful puppy with drooping eyes appeared next to me. Harrison, what's wrong? Harrison looked at me with grievance, the accusation in his eyes unmistakable. Annie, you've never said such intimate words to me. There's someone else in your heart. I know. I've tried my best not to disturb you, but can you keep a spot for me? I just want to stay by your side. Under any title is fine. Sob, even if you don't call me hubby, that's okay. He must have heard my conversation with Jess that night. But only parts of it. Especially the sentence, Jess, I love you too. Comments, Harrison finally stood up for himself, but he's so humble, sob. Did he misunderstand something? That's the baby's best friend. Jess is clearly a girl. Does he really think our heroine is a lesbian? Was Harrison jealous? I didn't know whether to laugh or laugh. His eyes were red as he spoke, he looked especially pitiful. I couldn't help but ruffle his hair. That's my friend. My best friend I grew up with. Of course we're close. First of all, she's a girl. Second, she and my brother are a couple. Now, can you tell me why you were so cold to me before? Drunk Harrison was very direct and much more talkative. He began rambling out the answers to my previous questions. I avoided you because I was afraid of scaring you. Because I liked you too much, I couldn't bear it. I was trying hard to restrain myself. Everyone else has a wife to manage them except me. They brag every day about their wives calling to rush them home. Only me, even if I drink until midnight, no one cares. I'm a pitiful man with no wife to love him. I thought you didn't marry me willingly. Why would someone as amazing as Annie ever settle for me? The comments scrolled wildly. Sob, insecurity is a man's best dowry. Harrison, do you know tears are an aphrodisiac for your wife? Cry a little more, and soon it'll be your wife crying. I reasonably suspect the comment above is making a dirty joke, but I have no evidence. Harrison has the most handsome face I've ever seen. Right now, the corners of his eyes were red, shimmering with tears, looking at me with deep affection. It made my heart itch, like a soft feather brushing against it. Harrison, have I not told you yet? I like you too. I agreed to the marriage because I like you. I want to be close to you every day because I like you. Bringing you paintings and desserts after work is because I like you. Calling you hubby is also because I like you. Before I could finish, warm lips pressed against mine. Harrison's movements were gentle but filled with an irresistible dominance. Our lips and teeth intertwined desperately. Little by little, my defenses fell, my consciousness blurred, and the sound of our heartbeats magnified infinitely in my ears. Baby, I like you so much. Harrison's sexy voice traveled from my left ear deep into my soul. I couldn't help but respond, me too. Suddenly, creak, the door was pushed open. Sir, the hangover soup is Ah. Sorry, sir. I'm leaving immediately. I didn't see anything. Mrs. Jing shrieked and slammed the door shut again. I looked up at Harrison, who was clearly turned on, and raised an eyebrow. Continue? This was my first kiss with Harrison. Harrison's Adam's apple bobbed, the desire in his eyes darkening. He said in a hoarse voice, "Baby, if we continue, we're going to become a real married couple." We didn't go all the way. Harrison and I each retreated to a separate bathroom. Comments: Is there something us VIP members aren't allowed to see? Bang 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 bang, open up. Please continue, okay? I'll pay for 100 subscriptions. Great, it's at a fade to black scene. We're doomed. Finally, Harrison silently hugged his pillow and moved back into the master bedroom. He brought a large box with him, too. He was being secretive about it and wouldn't let me see. But when I opened it while he wasn't home, I found it was just the box of pastries I had given him. The next day, Jess asked me out for lunch at a new seafood place. When we met, I learned she and Ethan had fought again. Jess angrily vented about 800 complaints. Men are all the same. Once they sleep with you, they turn their backs on you. He used to coax me for everything. Now he doesn't treat me well at all, especially in bed. Annie, that hypocrite hasn't devoured you yet, has he? I shook my head. Of course not. Although we'd done pretty much everything else, just short of the final step. When Jess looked down, her collar slipped a bit, and I inadvertently saw her neck. It was speckled with red marks. The battle must have been fierce. I pointed. Are those mosquito bites on your neck? Jess paused, then sighed with feigned depth. It's a long story. It was indeed a super handsome, 6 feet 1 inch mosquito. I played along. Wow, he sounds impressive. We looked at each other and laughed. I knew her too well. She was superficial. Faced with Ethan's absolute beauty, she would compromise on anything. Jess chewed on her straw, took a sip of iced watermelon juice, and said, "I plan to disappear for 3 days without a word. Let him taste what it's like not being able to reach me. Do you think that's too dramatic? Will he hate me later?" Before I could answer, she denied it herself. "Forget it, 3 days is too long. 2 days. No, better make it 1 day." I smiled helplessly. Sure. I support whatever you do." The exquisite woman in front of me beamed and opened her phone to show me photos. "Let's go to the beach. I booked the hotel already. The location is amazing. I heard there's a stray musician there who is insanely handsome. He's viral online. You'll come with me, right?" Of course. That night, I stayed with Jess in an ocean view suite. I received a message from Ethan. He was demanding Jess's location. Those two, truly a match made in heaven. I sent him the location. Only poor Harrison went home promptly at 7, only to find his wife missing. She'd been abducted by the person he used to be insanely jealous of. I messaged him to comfort him, sob, "Hubby, wait for me. I'll be back in 2 days. Just keeping Jess company while she unwanes." Harrison sent a crying emoji. "Okay. What is a home without you? I won't sleep well tonight." Last night was the first time he slept in the master bedroom. He was so excited he didn't sleep all night. In his arms was his alluring, fragrant wife. But Harrison couldn't make a move. He quietly went to the bathroom many times in the middle of the night. But today, he had nothing. Just a cold bed and a missing wife. "Annie, who are you texting?" Jess came back from buying coconuts and handed me one. "Harrison. He's a hypocrite too. Don't talk to him." "Okay." Half an hour later, Ethan found us. "Annie." "Jess." Looking at the tall, mature man in front of me, I responded, "Brother." Ethan was adopted by my parents. My mom got pregnant with me when he was 10. My parents had me late in life, so I was spoiled rotten. But they treated Ethan just as well, never slighting him because he was adopted. Besides, we were relying on him to manage the family fortune later. I just wanted to be a carefree idler. Paint a little, eat some sweets. And be with my husband. Before I found the letter Harrison wrote to his white moonlight, I thought I didn't care. Until I fainted from anger. Yes. I literally passed out. I didn't know I had such a temper. When I woke up, the first thing I saw was Harrison. But Harrison looked at my pale face with panic. Old Sheen, what's going on? Did you piss off your wife again? Forget it, this is between you two. I'll head out. Only Harrison and I were left in the hospital room. Thinking of the rumors I heard at his company about his first love, I pieced it together in my mind. Harrison, they say you have a one that got away, who you love deeply. Is it true? I heard she went abroad because your families opposed it. Harrison explained frantically, I don't. The person I like has always been you, from start to finish. There is no white moonlight. If there is one, that person is you. You know I've liked you since I was 18. My first meeting with Harrison was in a park on the outskirts of the city. Jess and I went for a picnic. The cherry blossoms were in full bloom. I set up my easel under a tree and painted whatever came to mind. Just then, a cool, aloof boy walked under the cherry blossom tree. I quietly painted his back. That was when Harrison fell in love with me at first sight, starting a 10-year secret crush. But I never recognized him. Jess and I were chatting about future partners. Of course I want a cool, aloof guy. Ideally someone who ignores me every day. An ice-cold god. Annie, trust me, an enthusiastic puppy dog is way better. Why do you want an ice block? I don't care. I just want to find someone cold and distant. It's so cool. I was obsessed with the visuals of a certain boy band member and was very stubborn. Jess was exasperated. Should we ask our parents to set you up with your god? I was stubborn about that too, believing a god should be admired from afar, not necessarily met. As it turned out, not 2 months later, that idol got cancelled. And he got cancelled thoroughly. He ended up in jail. After that, Jess teased me about it for 6 months. She even blackmailed me into buying her a castle with a swimming pool that she couldn't bring herself to buy. So, just because of that offhand comment I made, Harrison acted cold to me after we married? This guy. Harrison, are you an idiot? I like you. I really like you. Harrison still couldn't believe it. He looked dazed. After a while, he gently pulled me into his arms. Annie, wifey, I love you. I'd do anything for you. Later, Jess and Ethan had a cute baby. They often brought the baby over to show off. Harrison acted indifferent on the surface, but inside, he was envious. At night, he would sneak into my blanket. Wifey, let's have a baby too. I get jealous watching Big Brother with his kid every day. Ideally one like you. A cute little princess. A year later. My ears picked up the sound of a door opening. Please, stop crying. Mommy wants to sleep. Daddy has to go to work tomorrow to earn your formula money, okay? Wah wah. The baby's cries grew louder. Harrison was losing his mind. Later, when Harry Jr. was a bit older and could walk, he was exceptionally clingy with me. Mommy. Mommy. Harrison was very displeased. You, move over. This is my wife. Don't steal her from me. Harry Jr. was a miniature version of Harrison, a boy who looked like him and had his personality. He put his chubby little hands on his hips. No. I want Daddy to go away. When he grew up a bit more, Harry Jr. spent all his time running over to Jess's house. The child Jess and my brother had was named Aria. But Aria had been a cool girl since childhood. She loved to dance and dressed in cool, tomboyish clothes. Kids her age loved following her around. Especially Harry Jr. Every day, wearing his blue overalls, he would chase breathlessly after Arya. "Sister Arya, wait for me. Sister Arya." Watching the children run off into the distance, Harrison and I looked at each other and smiled. And so, our story officially comes to a close.